Hello, my name is Lydia Brackett. I am a paralegal. I work in the areas of tax, estate planning, and probate at Emanuel Shepherd and Condon in Pensacola, Florida. Let me tell you a little bit about a typical day. My typical day starts at dark 30. I come in about an hour before everybody else. That gives me some quiet time, some downtime, in order to go through those pesky emails that have come in the night before, to go ahead and set up for my plan of the day. During the course of the day, there are different areas of law that I work in. Say, for instance, in a probate matter, I will meet with the attorney who has met with the principals. He will say, here's a death certificate, here's the names of the parties, we're doing a formal administration, go ahead and work up the paperwork. From that, I know that I need a petition for administration, an oath of personal representative, a notice to creditors, a notice of administration, if necessary, a notice of trust. There are orders and letters of administration. So knowing that, I work up those documents. If I need to contact the client for additional information in order to complete the paperwork, I do so. Whether I contact them by telephone or by email is according to the preference of the client. The paperwork goes to the attorney for review before it goes out to the client for review and signature. Now, that's just probate. If I'm doing something in the corporate arena, it could be the same thing. The attorney has met with the client, he's brought me his notes, I may have to initiate paperwork to establish a limited liability company. In addition to articles of organization, I would go ahead and prepare the operating agreement, the minutes of the first meeting. I would go ahead and order the notebook or minute book, as it were. All of these things I would do just from the initial notes that the attorney took with his initial meeting with the client. Similarly, in estate planning, if he met with the clients, I would go ahead and prepare whatever paperwork was necessary. Healthcare, surrogate paper forms. I would go ahead and prepare a draft will, a draft trust, depending on what the client requires. All of these things I would prepare in advance for the attorney so that he could review it and then meet with the client once again. For me, that's a typical day. Understand that each one of these projects, though I can tell you what they are, I can also tell you require anywhere from 2 to 3 hours worth of time to do for each project. In addition to answering telephone calls from other clients for existing probate matters, following up paperwork on existing cases. Of course, you have to have at least an Associates of Arts degree. It would be best to have an Associates of Arts degree in legal studies. In addition, if you can do a 4-year degree and get a bachelor's degree versus an AA degree, so much more the better. In any event, the minimum requirement would be 2 years of college, preferably in the area of legal studies. In addition, if you're really serious about the profession itself, what you'll want to do is to take continuing legal education courses. You would want to take a national test to get national certification. And it's not just a certificate, it's certification in the area of paralegal. I've done mine through the National Association of Legal Assistants. I know that there are other national organizations that do offer national testing. And this certification is good throughout the country. So no matter what state you practice in, this certification will go state to state. It's important too that you have continuing education, as I say, And know too that if you find yourself weak in certain areas, if you're a little weak in your writing skills, take a class. It's that simple. This will help you in communication skills, when you're drafting memos, when you're preparing letters. All of these things, while on the face of it don't seem very important, they are. Any courses you can take on improving communication skills, whether it be listening or speaking. These help in the areas of interviewing clients, interviewing witnesses, and also in communicating with clients, witnesses, vendors, whomever you come in contact with. All of these things support you, and in supporting you, really build the company or firm that you're working with, because you're building your reputation. And as you build your reputation, it helps the firm that you're with build their reputation. You've asked what the best part about this job is. The best part is the people. You come into contact with a variety of people. They come in different age groups, they come from different backgrounds, they have different economic levels, but it's the people. And it can be from clients, it can be vendors, it can be court personnel, it can be other paralegals, other attorneys. It's just a wonderful arena because you have a full bouquet. And to me, that really energizes you, invigorates you, and it increases you as a person. So really, the best part about this job is the people. And now I have to tell you about the worst part of the job. The worst part of the job, it's the people. Now you may think that that's contradictory, but it's not, because I'm talking a range, a variety. So you go from the very best to the very worst. And when I say that, I talk about in probate, for example. You meet people that start off being the best of friends and will work together, and it's a family thing, and they will start backbiting and become vicious or even malicious, and it's sad to see. And when you're dealing with court personnel, you have those who will go out of their way to be helpful, but then you have those who, this is their job, they're being paid to do it, and I don't have to be any more helpful than I want to be because I have this position. So in that sense, that's a little sad. But for the most part, if you're a good paralegal, you learn to confront and deal with all kinds of different personalities, to be able to deal with them in a professional manner, to not lose your temper, to maintain your cool, and at the same time treat everyone, no matter how they treat you, with total respect, because that's what the profession requires. And in a sense, that's who you are. And you have to be that person to do this job. Let me tell you, it is important to be flexible. And when I talk about being flexible, I talk about being mentally, emotionally flexible, because you're going to encounter a lot of different emotions on the job, but it's important to keep yours in check. You cannot react to what another person says, because it's not about you. It's always about the other person. And another thing that is extremely important is to find yourself a mentor. You're looking for a teacher, someone who has more experience in the particular area that you want to work in. Now, This person doesn't have to be an older person, it can be a younger person. What you're looking for is somebody who has valuable experience that you can use. It can be another paralegal, it may even be an attorney. But if you're looking to become a paralegal, it's best to find somebody who works in that arena, who knows, who has experience, and that is willing to share that experience, that knowledge with you, and more importantly, the wisdom that they've gained. Another thing, if you're looking to find your first job, what you can do right now, if you're, say, a high school student, find out from the local bar association or even a local paralegal association what they have to offer, if there's student membership that they can become involved in, if there are areas available to them, say working as a summer clerk, as a runner, as a file clerk, anything to get your foot in the door where you can gain some experience and some knowledge about what goes on in a law office. That is also extremely helpful. I would say right now, if you can, get into community service, because the more you do that at the level you're at now, the greater it will be for you to have that experience in dealing with other people, whether it be in programs to help the elderly, whether it be in programs to help the youth. Same thing, it gives you a variety of different age groups, different personalities, different income levels to work with, so that you have a more broad base, so you bring greater skills when you do get that first job. One of the most important things to know is that you will experience failure. But failures are growing experience. It is only a failure if you don't learn from it. So take whatever little failures you have, analyze them, discover what worked, what didn't work, what you could do better the next time. And from that, you gain wisdom. And as you gain this wisdom and this experience, you learn that you can use this in all areas of your life, whether on a personal level or a professional level. And the more wisdom and knowledge that you gain, the better you're able to perform for whoever it is that hires you. So understand that there are no real failures in life. There are just learning experiences that you can use to grow. And in this particular area, it's all about growth and continued growth. And if you do that, you will be that person that's at the head of the line instead of one of the many. And that's what I can tell you.